At a restaurant during mealtime, Sun Tutu nervously tended to pots and pans in the kitchen, trying to fulfill several takeout orders before they became delayed. Though she was originally a delivery person, she was so efficient that even the restaurant's owner thought she was talented. As she hurriedly left, he even reminded her that there was a position available for a chef at the restaurant for 4,500 yuan a month. On the way to make a delivery, Sun Tutu ran several red lights, risking being fined by the police. She eventually arrived at her destination, but the delivery was still late. Zhao Liquan asked Ren Tianzhen if he could borrow his suit for a defense he had that afternoon. Ren Tianzhen gladly lent him his suit and even ordered takeout, which Sun Tutu delivered. Sun Tutu arrived late and immediately apologized to Ren Tianzhen with a smile. She said that the school route was too complicated when her phone suddenly rang, reminding her of another overdue order. She repeated the same excuse, and Ren Tianzhen felt that her lies flowed out of her mouth so easily. Despite Sun Tutu's apologies, Ren Tianzhen bluntly cancelled the order. Sun Tutu angrily threw the delivery at Ren Tianzhen's head and ran off to her next order. Ren Tianzhen, still wearing his new suit for the defense that afternoon, was completely drenched in soup. He had never experienced such a scene before. During the defense, he was still immersed in his anger from earlier and did not even hear his advisor's questions properly. Fortunately, the chief examiner had a father who was friends with and had mentored Ren Tianzhen, and he immediately repeated the questions. The defense was hastily and successfully completed. While delivering food, Sun Tutu heard a woman screaming for help. She found a man twisting the woman's hair, causing her to scream in agony. Sun Tutu immediately intervened and rescued the woman from the attacker. However, the man retaliated and they fought on the floor for several minutes. Shockingly, the woman who had been rescued did not help. In fact, when they gave statements to the police, the woman accused Sun Tutu of starting the fight, claiming it was because her delivery was late and she didn't give a good review. Sun Tutu was completely convinced that there were shameless men in the world where the person who saved someone was accused of being the attacker. She had become a regular at the police station, always willing to help people while delivering food, without seeking any appreciation. The kind hearted police officers comforted her, advising her to call them in case of emergency and leave the rest to them. Sun Tutu couldn't understand what would happen if she was beaten to death before the police arrived, considering the situation at the time. Over the years, Ren Xinjiang had been searching for the successor of the Zhang's acupuncture technique. Finally, his friend Wu Shandao received accurate information and found the direct successor of the Zhang's acupuncture technique, even obtaining the photo of the successor. Ren Xinjiang discussed the matter with his family, including his father in law, a renowned old Chinese doctor. He learned that the girl grew up in a welfare home, and both her parents sacrificed themselves while saving others. Moreover, her mother was the successor of the Zhang's acupuncture technique. The old man felt that he had a connection with this person and decided to provide the 10,000 yuan himself, especially considering that the girl was the successor of the Zhang's acupuncture technique. Ren Xinjiang brought Sun Tutu out of the police station and took her to the Chinese medicine clinic. Sun Tutu had a rough demeanor, not looking like someone who would study acupuncture. Ren Xinjiang advised her to speak less and offered her a daily wage of 100 yuan, as well as free Chinese medicine lessons. At first, Sun Tutu couldn't believe that such good fortune existed until Ren Xinjiang brought her to the clinic where many people surrounded her and called her Uncle Master. She was surprised and delighted, and at that moment, Ren Tianzhen arrived. Ren Tianzhen, who is naturally innocent, called Sun Tutu a fraud when he met her, saying she was just a delivery person. When his father asked him to carry the luggage, he naturally refused and even claimed he had a backache. He gave Sun Tutu a stern look and left. In the evening, Ren Xinjiang severely criticized his son's unreasonable behavior. However, Ren Tianzhen couldn't understand how a delivery person could know traditional Chinese medicine, making him feel that his 7 years of university education were a waste. Unlike Ren Tianzhen's upbringing, his family had a long tradition of practicing medicine. Both his parents and grandparents were experts in traditional Chinese medicine. Therefore, he believed that anything related to medicine was rigorous and would never allow someone like Sun Tutu to randomly throw food on people's bodies. Early in the morning, Ren Tianzhen's family gathered together for breakfast as usual. They diagnosed each other's conditions by taking their pulses. Ren Xinzheng was even more remarkable, as he could tell what flavor of ice cream his father-in-law had eaten the previous day just by taking his pulse. When washing dishes, Ren Xinzheng's wife asked him how he knew, and he just smiled and said he smelled the ice cream scoop that his father-in-law had left in the kitchen last night. All the staff at the traditional Chinese medicine clinic had arrived, except for Sun Tutu. Ren Xinzheng went to her house in person and found that she looked sleepy and had not woken up from a deep sleep. She did not look like a successor to traditional Chinese medicine at all. Ren Xinzheng asked her why she didn't come to work, and Sun Tutu demanded a higher salary, claiming that her rate yesterday was that of an extra and being a queen was an additional charge. To encourage her to study hard, Ren Xinzheng promised to give her 4,800 yuan a month and immediately wrote it down. Sun Tutu unexpectedly received a monthly salary of 4,800 yuan and the opportunity to learn medicine in a respected industry. This was an unprecedented windfall that she had picked up. She immediately bought desserts and champagne and celebrated with her roommates. She felt that she had never been so lucky, and even stepping on dog poop wouldn't be this unlucky. Her roommate reminded her to be vigilant, but Sun Tutu thought about her recent experiences and felt that she was just a poor person and the other party could not get anything from her. Ren Xinzheng resigned from school and heard Sun Tutu say that she loved playing claw machines. He thought that this game should be fun. In order to prevent his wife from blaming him, Ren Xinzheng specially invited his wife to go to the mall to play claw machines. Just as his wife was happily playing, he quickly told her about his resignation and asked Song Linglan to help him retrieve his books from the school. When Song Linglan saw the wall of books piled up, she complained while organizing them, saying that Ren Xinzheng didn't consider her feelings when he did things. Song Linglan's mother, Zhang Jiru, who understood her well, comforted her and said that Ren Xinzheng had his own ideas when it came to doing things and that they should understand and support each other. Ren Xinzheng planned to open a traditional Chinese medicine apprenticeship class. The venue and enrollment plan were already in the works. One night, an old friend came uninvited, hobbling on a cane with a painful look on his face, asking Ren Xinzheng for help. This person was very familiar with Ren Xinzheng and claimed to have gone abroad, unable to resist the temptation of seafood and ending up with gout from overeating. Ren Xinzheng's acupuncture quickly helped him stand up and leave the cane behind. When the friend heard about his plan to open a traditional Chinese medicine apprenticeship class, he immediately offered a venue for free. With a smooth venue secured, Ren Xinzheng discussed with his wife and decided to provide dormitories and meals for the medical students at his own expense. This would not only help them to get to know each other better, but also establish rules early on. His wife supported Ren Xinzheng's ideas almost entirely, although she complained a little when she heard that he wanted to pay for everything himself. As a traditional Chinese medicine enthusiast, she knew the significance of the matter and did not refuse her husband's proposal.